exactly 8 miles from the school, it would actually look like his line was flat because he would keep on staying 8 miles away from the school. Does that make sense? This is how far and how close you are from the school. This is a hard thing to understand. All right. Congratulations, Jack. Thank you for being embarrassed. Go get a prize. All right. I need another person to embarrass, please.
I didn't do homework yet.
Me! My red flag.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4.
Yes!
All right. Carter.
Wait, we can't use the other side.
Yeah, we're gonna use the other side. Oh, if you drew too thick, then go ahead and grab another piece of paper.
What? Into the thick of it? Into the thick of it? Get that. I want.
You're the one of the water. What's up?
It's a
Anybody else need a new piece of paper?
Oh, water.
Right there.
You need
All right.
water, mate.
This one is called.
Carter, you're literally right next door. Carter lives in this school.
Oh, I've got a good one for you, Carter.
Hey, yo.
Carter's way.
All right, this one is called Carter's Flight.
Oh,
boy. Carter probably went to go eat
he probably. Carter's flight on the battle bus.
Carter's light on what?
No one else. Carter.
All right, just as a reminder, do not talk over me. As a reminder, this piece of paper, I've got about half of it as a graph and half of it with kind of instructions underneath. Okay, this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. On the bottom, I'm going to write time, which is independent. And this time on the side, I'm going to write altitude. A-L-T-I-T-U-D-E.
I'm guessing you got it right.
That is the dependent variable. Does anybody know what altitude is? Trevor.
I don't see.
It's what?
Height off sea level.
Yeah, it's the height off of the sea level or the surface. It's how high this plane is in the air. Carter, have you been on a plane before?
Yes.
Okay, raise your hand if you've ever been on a plane before, anybody. Okay, so Carter, where are we going to start? Let's say, Carter, that we're going to start on the runway. So, number 1 on the bottom is going to be on the runway.
Yeah, model.
Why do they call it a runway when it's just flying?
Hey, yo.
It's like the runway to take off.
Because you're picking up speed. You have to carry.
Yeah,
You will call it not the flyway.
that's true.
Not gonna put tactical on, right?
All right, hey, you guys are gonna be polite to me. So, Carter, when you're on the runway, how high are you in the air? Are you? We're just getting ready to fly. Are we on the air yet?
No,
No. Okay, so where do you think I should start? We're at the very beginning of time.
top left corner.
That would say that you've got a really high altitude right now. Bottom. All right, so we're starting down here, right here at 0, 0. We're starting at 0 time, 0 height. All right, now, if you've been on a plane before, do you have a question for me, Jess?
Well, I was gonna say, since the plane like has the wheels and such, it would technically have at least.
Right, but I mean, if this whole distance is how high it might be in the air, then it's gonna be pretty hard to tell the difference down there, but you're right. All right, so, now, if you've been on a plane before, you know that you don't just take off immediately from an airport. Usually what they do is they do something called taxiing around the runway. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
That means they get like in line, right? They get in line with all the other planes. They kind of drive around a little bit until they're ready at the beginning to take off. They get the clearance and then they go, right? So we're going to write taxiing. around the runway.
And they gotta thank the bus driver.
Okay, so they're taxiing around the runway right now. They're getting ready to take off. Can anybody tell me, when you're going around the runway like that, are you going into the air?
No.
So should I just keep the same point?
Yeah.
No, you might wanna make a line, cause they might be going in different.
Oh, I know.
And time's moving.
Tell me.
Justin, how dare you?
Tanner, tell me.
So we keep it on that bottom x-axis line, but we move it forward in time.
Right, because time is going to keep going. It doesn't matter if they're going in loop-de-loops, if they're going in circles, but time keeps going because so time is like a flat line here, but it's not going any higher or lower. Yes.
Not to get technical with anything, but if it's the height above sea level, isn't there points where it's below or above?
We're gonna call this height above ground, like the ground that they're currently at. But thank you. Elevation is
What is elevation?
It is how high you are above sea level. This is altitude is how high you are above the ground.
I thought that was elevation.
Elevation, what did I say?
Elevation.
I am so sorry.
That's what he said too.
All right,
I have a speech.
so next up, we're gonna take off. So when we take off in this airplane, are we going to be going, how fast do airplanes go?
Well, if we
Knots.
take it into consideration, it has to go slower to start off and then it floors it.
Yeah, all right, and when it floors it, it goes straight up?
0 to 60 in like half a second.
Oh.
Not even
It stays
Like
straight.
750 mil.
So so you're saying it starts pretty slow, and then it takes off, and it starts climbing, right? Well, this is how high it is according to time, right? And we're gaining a lot of height in a lot of short time. But then what happens? Does a plane keep on going up forever?
It evens out.
What do you call that? It's a certain altitude. What do you call that? Yeah?
The flyway.
No. Yes?
I was just gonna say.
Cruising altitude. Nice. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say an estimate on how high they fly. Isn't it 23,000 feet or something?
It's something like that, yeah. All right, so this was, right here is takeoff.
Man, Chargers really in the air.
He's getting all the birds. He's getting all the birds.
And 4 is where we are climbing up. Is this a hill?
Yes. No,
No.
it's the air.
This is how high the airplane is going. You know, it looks like a hill. And I said 5, which is what I'm labeling this top thing as. Look up. See that top thing is 5. And that is cruising altitude. All right, now this is where your story gets good.
This not a goblin.
Have you already heard this story?
Not even
Who told you this story?
I saw it when I walked in. There were
Okay.
goblins.
So, here we go. You ready for your story, Carter?
Yeah.
So, you are sitting on the plane flight, right?
Yeah.
I've only got 5 minutes. Do you have something good to say?
Is the ascent going up or down?
Ascent is going up. Descent is going down. So, when you're sitting in the airplane, you're sitting like this, right? And you are sitting right by the window, right? Which is obviously the best spot. Everybody ready for this story?
Yeah.
So you're sitting by the window, which is great. And then there's an empty seat right here. And then on the other side, like by the aisle, is a dude who's sitting there sleeping. And you're flying by yourself. You don't have any family with, okay? So you are on this plane flight, and you are sitting there, Carter, and you're sitting back, and it's a night flight, so you're trying to fall asleep, and you're looking out the window, and then all of a sudden, on the wing of the plane, you see these hands come over the edge of the wing, right? Okay? Do not interrupt me. And something starts peeking over the edge, and then all of a sudden it kind of climbs on board, and it is like a human-type creature that has like arms and legs and stuff, but it's sticky like a chameleon, like it's gripping onto the plane. And it's got like scales on its face, and its teeth are just like needles, okay? Like needle sharp, gross things, and its eyes are bulbous, okay? So, shush.
Language.
Sorry.
Okay, so then what happens is you're looking out the window at this thing and it's crawling around on the plane wing and you're like, I am going nuts, right? Like I must be really tired. So you're kind of like slapping yourself in the face a little bit. You're trying to wake up. Keep looking over. There it is. So you decide you're going to wake up this guy that's over here, right? So you touch his shoulder and you tap him and you wake him up and he's like, what? And you say, do you see? And then you look out there and there is nothing there.
Oh,
Okay.
grab and strap, boys.
So you decide, you know what, you're going back to sleep. So you put down the window and you close your eyes and you lean back and you're like, I'm not even gonna look out there. I'm not even gonna look out there because I don't need to and it doesn't matter and there's nothing out there, right? But eventually, I mean, you're gonna have to look, right? Just to make sure, just to make